got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up. Throughout the world today.
uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. How y'all? Welcome to the show. It's Wednesday again. Believe it or not, it is Wednesday. Manhood hour in the third hour today. It is Wednesday. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. And my biblical question for this week, the biblical question, and it's a doozy. Are emotions necessary? Are emotions necessary? Amazing question. Some people say yes. Well, most people say yes. Are emotions necessary? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, anywhere in the world, because we are heard around the world by everybody and their mama. And if you're black, everybody and their mama. If you're white, everybody and their mama. Amazing, huh? They and their. But if you're busy, you can't sit and just sit there and watch the show because you got to go to work, or you going to work out, or you going to the doctor, or you yelling at your husband or your wife, or you buying some fentanyl, or you carjacking, or whatever. You can be listening to the show as it is happening on your iPhone or iPad. You can you can podcast the show later, but you can be listening on your iPhone or iPad, no matter what you're doing and where you are, by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. That's 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, or rebuildingtheman.com. Rebuildingtheman.com. All right? Amazing. And so again, in the third hour today, it is Manhood Hour every Wednesday.
Amazing.
And there's a couple lines open if you want to jump in at 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. All right? I want to get to a few things here before I get to the calls, and I will, and your super chats. What's happening in my country is so interesting to me, in that it make it clear, it's becoming even clearer that hell is on earth. It is on earth, and according to the Bible, it's beneath the earth as well. That's where you go, and you just stay there for the rest of your life, no way out, right? You do have a way out while you live. You can work on yourself and overcome hell. But what is most, and I understand now, because the human nature, until you return to the Father, until you become a love, human nature is evil. The fruits of human nature are evil. Jealousy and strife and envy and worry and suicidal thought and revenge and greed and hatred and anger. That is the nature of human nature. And human beings have zero love, no love. Zero love, period. No love. And human nature thrives off of throwing stones and trying to destroy other human beings. And they call it life. They call it fun. They call, just playing, right? But they call throwing stones at one another life. Human nature is evil. I clearly understand when it says trust no angry human being. And what I notice about human beings is that they always say, let's find something good in that person. There's nothing good in the person. No good. I had a young lady call me yesterday. Well, she's 60 years old. But when she seemed like a nice lady, she really wanted to know, it seemed. And she was talking about all these things she's done for this man. He lived with her. She pretty much took care of him. They finally broke up after 25 years, I believe. And then the guy's back again, and she's still taking care. And she thought she was good for doing those things, when it really was no good. The only thing it did for her, it made her ego boost, and it weakened the man. And they call that love. They call that good. But that's evil. Human beings are pure evil. It's weird that if you're on the same level as angry people, you won't be able to see that you're dealing with evil because you're on the same level, and the evil in you is dealing with the evil in them, and it seems normal even though it doesn't work. Amazing. But what's really mind-blowing to me, that the more educated you are, the more you hunger and thirst for power. You die for it. And the so-called bigger leadership you have in this world, it makes you want to stay in that position, and you would do anything, whatever it takes, to stay in leadership position. And you care less, zero, about anyone but you, because you want to maintain your position. Your ego is out of control, is evil, and you want to maintain your position. You want money and power, you want recognition, which are all evil. And it's not that the money is evil, but the ego gratification that you get from it is evil, and your desire to do whatever it takes. And then what is extra interesting to me is that there are demons, and there are big demons and big demons, and they are ruling from the top to the bottom. And no one, not one, is in control of him or herself. They are being controlled by evil, and they may call it the President of the United States, or they may call it the Secretary of the country, or they may call it doctor, lawyer, psychiatrist, counselor, preacher, prophet, bishop, pope, whatever they may call it. It's still rulers of this world who are evil, and their whole desire is to control you, because it can't survive unless it has someone to control. It's already controlling you from within. That's your world, right? That's your hell. But it's also, it roams the earth to see who it can devour in order to control them as well, even your own children. There's no love in this world. There is another world, though, and we'll get to that, but there's another world, and that world is made of love. There are no stones to throw. In this other world, stones. There's only love. But in this earth world, human nature is all about stone throwing. It's all about destroying. Throw stones, right? It's about nothing else but that. There is no love. It's amazing how that is. But what's really in understanding all this, because if you get to know yourself, what I'm telling you, you will, if you stay on that straight and narrow path, and it's a must, you will come to know clarity. You will have a clear mind. You will come to know and see what's really, really going on, because you're going to see it inside of you first. But human beings, men and women, are pure evil. And most of them won't call it evil because they don't want to recognize the evil inside of them. The anger is evil. The anger is hatred. But it's pure evil. That's why in all families, all relationships, they don't get along. Nobody gets along. And then they'll join groups. And if you're a part of that group, but one day you decide, you know what, this is not helping me. I'm losing in this group. I'm not getting better. And you dare to think for yourself and pull away from that group, whether it's a family group, club group, church group, whatever group you're in, one-on-one friendship group. And I'm going to get to all of your calls. One-on-one friendship group. I dare you to step outside of that group circle. You immediately become the enemy. They make you their enemy. And they do whatever they can do to draw you back into the group. Because the devil can't stand losing one. And as a result, human being cannot stand one person deciding to grow and overcome. They don't want you to grow. They build army, your own mama. And once in a while, your father, but it's rare, your own mama will build an army against you. If you dare to go to her and say, I'm sorry for resenting you. What you're talking about? No, you can't I ain't did nothing with you. I need to be forgiving you when she has created you in her image. Amazing, huh? But that's what's happening. The earth is the dwelling place of hell, because that's where human beings dwell. But what's really, 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 really interesting to me is that I never really knew this until the last few years or so. We have a government that is your bitter enemy. They care less about you, period. And because you've been so dumbed down, they dumb you down and then they control you. And you don't see what's going on. You just don't know it. And you're so dumbed down. You're already dumbed down coming from your parents, coming from the schools, coming from the influence of the world. And the government give you pot. They give you free drugs. They give you free drinks. They do everything they can. They make you hate one another. They make you fight against race. Think about that. Nobody on the earth had anything to do with the color that they come out of their mama ass. Black, white, Mexican, Chinese, Japanese. Oh, nobody had a choice with that at all. It just happened that way. And then they made you fight over color. Think about that. And you still don't see that something is wrong with that. You're arguing over color. Think about that. They made you argue over color by telling you it was important when it's not important at all, zero important. They made you argue over religion. And you argue over which religion is better. And it's not them that making you do it, it's the evil that's in you, of course, because if you overcome the evil, then the evil inside of other people will not affect you, period. It wouldn't, okay. What do you want me to do about it? You know what I mean? They make, one of the dumbest things, amongst the many dumbest things that's happening right now, there's a white girl that played basketball. And according to the report, she's pretty good playing with other girls, but she's white. And they have the blacks, no, now mad at the white girl because she can play ball better than them and she getting attention for it. And the blacks been getting attention for sports forever, but it's not enough attention. And then you argue. And you don't think there's something wrong with that. You have black people truly believe, absolutely believe, which is a lie, but they believe it, that white people are superior to them. They think, to the point they call white people white supremacists. They say, you are my superior. And then they get mad at the white people because they believe the white people are superior. The white people don't believe it because if the white people believed it, they wouldn't be afraid. But they have a conviction of that. Well, because of time here, what's most important to me, not most, is they have, in the United States of America, I don't know what they're doing across the world. I hear it's pretty much the same. A lot of this stuff starts in other countries. But in the United States of America, I want you to think about this. And you're going to see that human beings are evil. And they want to control you. They want what they call socialism, but they really is about control. If socialism is about control. And all human beings, your mama, your husband, your wife, your kids, they want to control you. Somebody. You can't have life living in your hell unless you can control others. And it's unfortunate that most people are being controlled. Unfortunate. I want you to think about this. In the United States of America, our government, people you voted for, some I voted for, some you voted for, they don't care about you. They want to control you. And guess what they have done? Just think about this. Really, really, really think about it. We're talking about human beings created by God but belong to the devil until they return to the Father. Our government decided, because of their desire for power, they had to put fear in you, because if you have no fear, you can't be controlled. Smoke on that one. If you have no fear, you can't be controlled. And I'm not talking about fate not having fear, because you have fear or you don't have it. And it's a spirit, and you can't do anything about it but overcome if you wanted to. It's in you. You can't pretend it's not there. But just think about this. The United States of America government took away the police. they decided, listen to some radical far-left evil group called Black Lives Matter and others. And they said, get rid of the police, get rid of bail bond, let the criminals out of prison, and because we don't like the police. We're not going to obey the police. We're not going to follow the instructions of the police. So we want you to get rid of the police, defund them, put them out of business. We want a lawless country. We want all the inmates out, especially the black ones. We want them out of prison. Not the white ones, but the black ones. And you said, okay, to evil. You said, okay to that. To lawless people who hate God, who hate the idea of the family, husband and wife, who hate white people. You said okay to, think about that. You said, okay, we'll get rid of them. Will you like us then? Will you believe then that we are not against you? And that still didn't work. But think about that. We don't have police anymore, for the most part. Think about that. We don't have police to control the lawless. When men and women return to the Father, the law of the heart guides them. But until that happens, you need the law of the land to guide you. Think about that. I want you to really, it looked like sometime in life, at some point, you got to start thinking for yourself. I remember my producer, Sean, he didn't like California for that reason, and others but that reason as well. He didn't like the fact there was no police. That's one of the reasons he took the train back to Philly, or wherever he came from. Where you from, Sean? But anyway, I want you to just think about that for a minute. New Jersey, yeah. Think about that. You agreed to get rid of the police. You agreed not only to lay down your Second Amendment, but to get rid of the police and let the criminals out. No bail bond, no nothing. Let them out, especially if they're black. You agreed to that out of fear, and now you have more fear. Think about that. You agreed to that. You vote for people and put them in your government, city council, police departments, senator, whatever else they are. You vote them in, and you voted just because someone was burning down your country, destroy your flags and your monuments. You said, okay, we'll get rid of. You said yes to that. And now you have no protection. Zero protection. The police ain't coming. You agreed to get rid of your country, your police. You agreed to it. You didn't fight back on that at all. You said, no, we'll do it. Black Lives Matter, and then Black Lives Matter are telling you, don't even say any other life matter except Black Lives Matter. You're like, okay. Some people say White Lives Matter or Blue Lives Matter. They were attacked. You agreed to get rid of the police. And now crime is completely out of control, and it's going to get worse. Because there's nothing to stop the lawless people. Their heart not going to stop them because their hearts are wicked. They have no love. And it's all about self. And now crime is out of control. You can hardly go out to an event now. There was a young man downtown Los Angeles hanging out downtown, doing whatever you're doing downtown Los Angeles, California. A guy by the name of Johnny Wachter. According to the report, he was shot dead during an L.A. car theft. L.A. car theft. We have pictures of him up there and some reports about it. And the police are searching for the killers. And when they can't find the killers, they're going to walk in, if they find them, they're going to walk in one door and right out the back. They ain't going to jail. Especially they got to be in white, too. Johnny White, they sure ain't going to jail if they should find them. But the police are so limited now, they ain't got time to be looking for a killer, especially if they're white. And the man is dead. They were trying to take off his catalytic convertible from his car because the thieves can sell the iron or the steel of it or whatever it is, right? And according to a report, he happened to walk out there to the car, and 3 or 4 people, I believe 3 they say, I'm not sure, were surrounding his car. He thought the car was being towed or something. Like, no, I'm here. And they, according to the report, they shot him and they killed him. According to the report, 3 people at his car stealing from his car. And now Johnny, he was a soap opera actor, I believe, is now dead. And you voted to defund the police. You said yes, no police. Can you get in it? Is that insane or what? You said yes to some radical, black life, American hating, God hating, family hating people. Worse than the KKK. And you said, okay, we'll get rid of the police. Think about that. I really want you to smoke on that one. You said yes to get rid of the police, and crime is everywhere. And you can't even protect yourself. As a matter of fact, if you try to protect yourself, you go to jail, not the criminal. 888-7753-773. Back in a moment. I have books that are amazing. I highly recommend you get them. 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Family, and Financial Success Guide. Even if you're not starting a business, but you have a job, or you're on welfare, it can help you if you do. Be doers of the word, all right? From rage to responsibility. From rage. That's what I write about in the first chapter, especially how I overcame. Scam. How the black leadership exploits black Americans. They're using them, and blacks are too willing to be used. And then my last book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. They are all amazing books, and they are helpful. Go to rebuildingtheman.com if you want an autographed copy, or call 800-411-2663. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Amazing. It's mind-blowing to me. But I understand evil now. Clear. And I'm sure there's more to understand about evil. When I say clear, it gets clearer and clearer and clearer. Anyway, to donate and have your comments read out loud, and we're going to get to your super chats here, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP on Cash App. Bond JLP on Cash App, all right? I want to just, it's so much I can show you how you've been, when you're angry, you can't see. I want you to know that. Not one human being, you, me, or anyone. When you have anger, which is hatred, which is separating you from the light, you're not of the light, you're of the darkness. And you don't know you're of the darkness. You cannot see. And you're thinking you can see, even though your life is miserable and nothing is working. And you think it's working, but it's not. But I said mind-blowing, but I'm using mind-blowing because I need to communicate with you. I'm just blown away that you voted. Oh, let me say this first. The Hake report coming up at 9 a.m. Pacific time. The Hake, Hake report.com from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And James Hake is on fire. We got to get James Hake on Fox News to be involved in some of those debates. James Hake will blow him through the water. He ain't scared. And then after James Hake, the Hake report, Joel Friday TV. He black. Joel Friday TV at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Mending relationships and pointing the way back to the Father at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby, a genius, energy given to him by God. So we got a nice lineup. Thanks to you for your support to helping us to get this done at 12 noon. All right? So I want to make this point, and then I'm going to take some calls in your super chat. And then I'm going to show you how because you're blind and can't see, you're being controlled. You're being controlled inwardly first by evil, and you call it you. By spirits, and you call them you. You're possessed, and you call it you. You say, I'm miserable. You say, I'm lonely. I'm afraid. I'm suicidal. I need to be married. I need kids. I need this. And you call it you, saying that that's what you need. And that's not it at all, zero. You need a return to the Father. But this false identity church is somewhere looking for a husband or wife, and you find the same devil. And you wonder, how did I marry this one? I was just with the... I can't tell you the numbers during the counseling session and people I meet on the road, that how much they consult with the devil, and they end up with the same thing. I was counseling with a woman yesterday. Nice lady. Was with a good man, she said. I had a good man, she said. I had kids with the good man, but I was a bitch. I destroyed that marriage. I couldn't believe I acted that way. And then I met another guy, I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be better. This was going to be better, and he's worse. You're consulting with evil. When you believe thoughts, you are consulting with evil. Isn't that amazing? And you call him God. or you, and your life is miserable. You think that it's you. There's no you. You, me, and nobody else are in control of anything, zero. And you got rid of the police. And now there's no protection for you. In the United States of America, a Christian country, a Judeo-Christian country, a country built on love. America was built on love. And now we have no police. There are no police. And then the one or two police we have, something happened, they're afraid to do anything about it. They show up. They're afraid to do anything about it because you're going to call them racist or police brutality, and they're going to lose their job. And so they just stand around, look at the crime. And crime is everywhere, and it's going to get worse. And just think about this, and then I give you somebody that I got to ask your calls. Think about this. They told the criminals that you could literally go into a store, a place of business, and steal up to $1,000, give or take $1,000, and you're fine, no problem. And the employees of the store just sit around and watch you going in there shopping and stealing and walking out. And there are no police. Because they say, well, I can't do anything about it. The law told them they can do it. They can steal my merchandise, my stuff, and get away with it. And the criminals do it. They smile while they're doing it. I was just at a market the other day, a week ago now, almost, and I'm like, do people still come in here and steal? Yeah, they do. I'm like, how do you guys feel about this? At first, I was getting angry. I didn't like it, but there's nothing I can do about it, so I just accept it. And I can see the criminal coming. I know him now, they say. And you defunded the police. You agreed to it. Not everybody, of course, but you agreed to it. In the United States of America. And now look what we have. Carjacking, snatching, grabbing, women being raped on the streets. We showed you a report one day where a guy, I think it was in New York, I may be wrong, attacked a woman according to the report, dragged her behind the cars or right next to the car, and raped her right there on the street. And you defunded the police. You defunded the police. You got rid of bail bond, and you said let them out. Because Black Lives Matter and others said it was racist. Never mind they had done crimes, committed crimes. They said, oh, it's racist. You like, oh, okay. And you defunded the police. And crime is out of control. And for right now, it is affecting white people more than anyone else. And the whites agreed, for the most part, to defund the police. Because they wanted to satisfy Black Lives Matter. They were literally licking Black Lives Matter boots. White churches did it, some. And now crime is out of control. According to the Daily Mail, Mississippi family cowards behind car as carjackers, crowds cowardly behind cars as carjackers open fire on them. This is in front of their house, I believe. They had to hide behind their car while carjackers opened fire on them. I want you to watch this, and I want you to think about the fact that you agree with Black Lives Matter to defund the police. Watch this from the Daily Mail.
In this video you're about to see, there's two suspects seen attacking a family with one goal in mind, and that's to get a car. Now, for some viewers, this may be disturbing. Caught on a Ring camera, watch as two suspects creep up, firing at a family as they were saying their goodbyes in the driveway of their West Jackson home.
I mean, he was outside on the, outside of the car. I'm so sorry. Anyways, and I threw my hands up. I'm like, hey, 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 hey. And he just pulled me down.
Heather Allen and her son were outside the car, but inside was her oldest son, daughter, and two grandchildren.
They kept hollering, like, give me the keys, get out. My daughter was like, my babies are in the car.
Then you can see one of the suspects pulling Allen's daughter out of the car.
He jumps in the driver's seat. I'm standing on the outside looking in.
Black people.
And he points a gun in my oldest boy's face.
Her son gets out, and that's when Allen braves it to grab her grandchildren from the back seat. The whole time, one of the suspects was still yelling for the keys. When they couldn't figure out how to take that car, Allen threw her keys on the ground. And you can see here, they soon after take off in Allen's car that was parked in the lawn.
White people trying to have a life. They went over to the suburbs so you can have the inner cities. And down in Mississippi, it's bad. A lot of blacks down in Mississippi. And look what the blacks are doing. You let them out of prison. You told them they don't even need a bail bond. And don't worry, ain't no police coming. You agreed with Black Lives Matter to defund the police. And Black Lives Matter, when I say Black Lives Matter, I'm referring to anyone who agreed with Black Lives Matter. You voted, you agreed to defund the police and let all the criminals, especially black ones, out of prison, out of jail, and look what you're getting. You agreed to this. Whether you did it in fear or not, you agreed to it. And in the United States of America, not only are we restricted with our Second Amendment, you're now restricted to even getting help with the police or from the police. You believed the lie. It was about racism. It was about police brutality, which were just slogans. That's all they were. They were lies. And the people yelling the slogans, they were about money and perceived power. And the people under them that were marching and carried on with it, they had no clue. They had no clue. They were just out there getting a thrill. The thrill was as valuable as money. And you agreed to defund the police. You call death life, and you call life death. And if you don't, as an individual, wake up and take control of your life, overcome this hell inside of you, so you can overcome it outside of you, inside of others, may God have mercy upon you. Alex from Illinois. 888-7753-773. Alex, welcome to... There's a line open. Somebody want to jump in there. Welcome to the show, Alex.
Thank you, Jesse. How you been?
All is well. How you?
Doing well. Thank you.
Nice.
I just have a simple question for you today.
Okay.
When you asked, does the bear, crap in the woods?
Yes.
Can you tell me what significance that question has?
I want to know.
You want to know if the bear does that in the woods?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know that they do, correct?
I found out.
Asking because I did a little bit of research.
That's on the fallen state. Let me just explain what you're talking about. That's on the fallenstate.tv. It's one of the hot seat, right?
Right.
It's one of the hot seat questions. Are you washing dishes or something?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
So, I read in the Torah, and the exact translation is just that. Like, the bear craps in the woods. And that basically means that we come from the ground, right? Man is made from earth, which is full of this bear dung and a lot of other very kind of specific things in the Torah that, you know, pertains to the bear taking a crap in the woods. And I just wanted to know if you were aware of that.
No, it was just a country saying when I was growing up. It was just a funny thing that I guess the older people did at the time, so we kind of picked it up. So are you Jewish?
I'm not, but if you do get a chance.
It's a Torah. Isn't Torah a Jewish Bible or something?
I mean, it's a Jewish Bible, but it does have revelations in it, so we wouldn't have the Bible if. I mean,
and why do you read? Why do you read the Torah? Are you a Christian?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. So why do you read the Torah?
Out of curiosity.
Oh, okay.
It was just out of curiosity. I was trying to
I got you.
Just figure something out. That's all.
Absolutely. And so, and how do you feel reading the Torah and it tell you that we came from the earth, and what about?
I didn't feel any type of way. My first thought was, I wonder if Jesse knows this.
No, I don't. I've never read the Torah, so I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, if you could, just go ahead and take a look, and, you know, I could call back and we could talk a little more about it, because it's just a little, I don't really believe too much in coincidences, and I have my own, you know, theories on some things when pertaining to religion.
Are you on a speaker or something?
Sorry about that. Here we go. Is this better?
So you were on a speaker?
I was.
Did the person answering the phone tell you not to be on a speaker?
I don't recall.
Oh, okay. Yeah, don't be on a speaker. And so what point was the Torah trying to make about that?
I don't know what the point was. It was just something that I had to decipher because it was, in Hebrew letters.
Right. Oh, okay.
And then just knowing that the first 5 books of the Torah are actually the Bible, I was just interested in reading, you know, the Jewish interpretation of it.
I got you. And the Torah is the first 5 books of the Bible, right?
Correct.
Okay. Interesting. I've never read that in the Bible. I didn't know it was even in the Bible. I thought it was just something that came from old school down south, you know, down in Alabama. But it's interesting.
Yeah. If you would take a look at it, I'd be really, really interested because it intrigued me too. And
right on.
It does have something to do with the Bible. And, yeah.
I'll check it out one day. I don't know when, but it's in Deuteronomy, right?
No, this is like in the beginning.
Oh, okay.
In the beginning itself. Yeah, it's the first sentence.
Oh, okay. Really? Okay. Amazing. Yeah. Thank you, Alex.
Amazing.
I'll definitely check it out.
It was nice talking to you. All right, take care. Take it easy, guys.
All right. 888-7753. 77 Jesse. Super chat. Super chats.
Yesterday, Nick.
Did you know that was in the Bible?
Does a bear go to the bathroom in the woods?
I've never seen that.
No, I didn't know that.
I never heard that. I never seen that. Blah, blah, blah.
Same here.
Really? So you never read it? And you a little homegrown.
If I read it, I don't remember it. Didn't stick with me.
Oh, okay.
Because I read the whole thing.
I don't know if I read the whole thing, but I never read that or heard about that.
Yeah.
That in the Torah, does the bear taken in the
Number 2.
woods.
What the?
I don't even understand the significance of that.
Me either.
But anyway, Super Chat.
Nick LaBoy donated a Rumble rant yesterday later in the show saying,
You gotta know how to rumble.
Good afternoon, Jesse and crew. Happy belated birthday. Jesse, what does the Bible mean about the meek? Is it good or bad to be meek?
It's neither good nor bad. But you gotta let go completely. And then you should enter into the kingdom within. You gotta let go completely. Amazing. And thank you for the birthday wish. Thank you.
Birdie Bound B bought a coffee. A lot of people today say it takes a village, but if you don't have people doing what it takes, you don't have a village. Just a dark encampment somewhere in the woods. Talk about upside down.
I'm telling you. And even if you had a village, it doesn't take a village to raise a kid. It takes a father and a mama or a father. That's what it takes. Thank you.
Birdie Bound B says, most people don't care about improvement.
No.
With another coffee.
They sure don't. Thank you. I got to take a quick break. 2 more hours to go. When I come back, we're going to finish those super chats and get back to your calls. Hake with the Hake News. Back in a moment. I recommend you get a copy of my book, From Rage to Responsibility. I write about how the spirit of anger was taken away from me 29 years ago. I forgave my mother who tried to turn me away from my father, and I returned to my father, and through him, my father on earth, and through him, I was able to return to God. No man or woman can return to God unless you go through the Son. And men are sons of God. There may be weak, pathetic examples of it, but it's the spiritual order of life. God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children. So get From Rage to Responsibility. I write about that. Go to my website, rebuildingtheman.com for an autographed copy, or call 800-411-BOND. And donate to my nonprofit, Bond, the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny. We are rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man.
I have some energy propaganda courtesy of the mainstream media and the evil Joe Biden administration, environmentalists. And severe storms are ripping through America. It's crazy. And there was closing arguments to Trump's extortion. He was extorted, and then he goes on trial for supposedly paying money. What a mess. This is the end of hour 1 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Wednesday, May 29th, AD 2024. There is one line open. You can call in right now to get on hold, to get on air with JLP. But first, Hake News, not fake news. CNN, Commie Nonsense Network, reports the black on the inside White House announced new actions to modernize America's electrical grid, paving the way for what they call clean energy, oh Lord, and fewer outages, so they claim. Yeah, right. You can have one or the other, not both, right? This comes as weather-related power blackouts are rising, they say. So they claim thanks to stronger storms putting more pressure on the nation's outdated, here's that communist buzzword, infrastructure. Infrastructure. Yeah, right. Doesn't it feel like liberal propaganda? Not the whole truth whatsoever, and pretending like Biden's going to save the day and his administration. Give me a break. Severe storms, hundreds of thousands of people in the southern and central United States are now contending with widespread power outages per CNN after enduring another unrelenting series of storms. Around 500,000 utility customers, 500,000 in Texas, without electricity early today, including more than almost 250,000 in Dallas County, 240,000 in Dallas County. At least 8 people killed in the state, Texas, since Saturday, as severe weather pummeled the region over Memorial Day weekend. After a brief reprieve today, another round of powerful storms will rumble back into the same area Thursday, so said the National Weather Service. This is in May. Forecasts show threats of large hail, damaging winds, and localized flooding to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. God's judgment? Who knows? Closing arguments wrapped up in Trump's so-called hush money trial. The far-left female-run outlet The Skim reports yesterday prosecutors and our greatest president, Trump's lawyers, delivered their final pitches to the 12-person jury. Trump's defense team attacked the credibility of the prosecution's so-called star witness, Michael Cohen, the rat, calling him the gloat, Gloat, greatest liar of all time. The defense also said Trump believed he was paying Cohen for legal work because he's a lawyer. Turns out he's also a liar. So common among the lawyers, right? Meanwhile, prosecutors told jurors that Trump took part in conspiracy and a cover-up to protect himself during his 2016 presidential campaign, as if people would care about the Stormy Daniels mess, which included hiding a hush money payment to the dirty video woman Stephanie Clifford, who goes by Stormy Daniels among the degenerate people. The jury is expected to begin deliberations today. They could convict or acquit Trump on all or some of the 34 counts of falsifying business records. In order to reach a verdict, the jury must be unanimous. Otherwise, there could be a hung jury and a mistrial. The verdict could come as soon as this week, ahead of the Biden-Trump debate next month. Hey, Trump has pleaded not guilty and has denied the so-called affair with Stephanie J. Gregory Clifford, also known as that dirty video woman, Stormy Daniels. And baby De Niro, you may have heard about unhappy liberal actor Robert De Niro. He clashed with pro-Trump protesters outside the trial's courtroom. Devils fighting. Terrible Trump supporters. Don't do that. Don't do that with that evil man. NBC reports after a news conference outside a Manhattan courtroom where Trump is on trial, Robert De Niro, the actor, 80 years old, got into it with a crowd of protesters who called him a little punk and whose movies stink. Only they didn't say stink. They said a different word. Don't say it, kids. And he's like complaining the Twin Towers fell, but we don't want terrorists to change our way of life. Donald Trump wants to destroy the city, the country, and the world. What a mess. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
To stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show already. It is Wednesday. Manhood hour is coming up in the third hour. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE. And we're going to get to all of your calls here. My biblical question, are emotions necessary? Are emotions necessary? An amazing question. Are emotions necessary? Amazing, huh? You can listen to the show if you're busy doing something else or you just can't sit around right now and watch it. Your car being carjacked, whatever may be going on. And you just don't have time to watch. You're going to podcast later after you try to find your car. Or you're on fentanyl. Or whatever. You consider suicide when the rainbow wasn't enough. Or you're blaming somebody else for your problem as an adult. Or you're angry. Or you're afraid. You could be listening to your podcast. by calling the listen line on your iPhone or iPad at 641. No, I'm sorry, 605 the old number. 605 615 4131. That's 605 615 4131. But if you want to talk on the air right now, you call 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. Before I go back to the phones, and I have some more amazing stories I want to share with you, I want to finish. We started out with the super chats. I want to finish up though while Hake is here, and get back to the phones and other soundbites for you. Amazing. Okay, here to Hake super chat.
Super chats.
Are you surprised that not all, but America said yes to defunding the police, and now we don't have police?
I'm not really surprised because the insane kissing up to blacks has just escalated like crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so over the course of my lifetime, it's only ever gotten worse, the kissing up to blacks, especially the insane, like, radical ones.
Yeah.
And so with that, it would only make sense that you would just sacrifice your whole life and community and safety to and civilization to the blacks.
And the thing about it, they let the inmates out of prisons and jail. They defund the police, and then the blacks goes after the white people.
Yeah.
That's what's so crazy. They go into the suburbs. They go after white people, but white people agree to defund the police.
Yeah. I don't think most whites agreed to that.
No, but most.
Maybe.
I didn't hear a loud cry no to it.
True.
Think about that. White people agreed with the radical blacks to defund police and let the inmates out of jail without bail bond because of police brutality, which doesn't exist. And now they're going after the white people who agreed to defund the police.
It was crazy to see the carjacking footage in the people's own driveway.
In their driveway.
In
and
beautiful Mississippi.
And they had the little kids in the car.
And they're shooting the guns. Why are they?
And they were black. They were black. Look black from here.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the people were who shot the actor whom you talked about.
Me too.
Here in L.A. Just stealing his catalytic converter for a few $100.
And Hassan, I want to replay that Mississippi thing that Hake was talking about from the Daily Mail. If you're just tuning in the first hour, I reported on out-of-control crime and that you agreed to defund the police. In California, in Los Angeles right now, those, we haven't had those little train things that long, right? Where you can ride, what do you call those things?
The tram?
Yeah. Those things kind of new, right?
Well, they've been building up the trains around
I know,
here.
but we haven't been using. We just started using them in the last few years or so. Because I remember it was just busting. We haven't always had the train thing.
Yeah, they built the trains out this direction, out that direction. Yeah.
And now crime is through the roof on the train.
Yeah.
On the train. And the buses.
Oh, yeah. It's ridiculous.
It's like crazy out of control.
Yeah, they come out shouting stuff, and then everybody else is like, oh, yeah, that. Because people are, like, intimidated by these loud, out of control, out of their mind people.
They're on drugs and everything. Even the bus driver trying to fight with them.
Yeah.
And guess what they do? Instead of putting police in control, they take citizens and put yellow jackets on them and tell them, we just want you to go down there and look. Don't do anything, but just look and let us know. It's out of control, folks. I know New York used to be like this, but I never imagined that would be in L.A. as well.
Yeah.
Our trains are kind of new.
Indeed.
But I want you to see this, and then we'll get back to the super chat. This crime, according to the Daily Mail, happened in these people's front yard. They had their children in the car trying to get in the car and go be white. And a couple of blacks walked up with guns shooting and took the car. Threw the kids out of the car and everything. And the white people couldn't do anything but run. This is from the, in case you missed it, the Daily Mail. Mississippi family cowered behind car as carjackers opened fire on them. Watch this.
In this video you're about to see, there's two suspects seen attacking a family with one goal in mind, and that's to get a car. Now, for some viewers, this may be disturbing. Caught on a Ring camera, watch as two suspects creep up, firing at a family as they were saying their goodbyes in the driveway of their West Jackson home.
I mean, he was outside on the, outside of the car. I'm so sorry. Anyways, and I threw my hands up. I'm like, hey, 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 hey. And he just pulled me down.
Heather Allen and her son were outside the car, but inside was her oldest son, daughter, and two grandchildren.
They kept hollering, like, give me the keys, get out. My daughter was like, my babies are in the car.
Then you can see one of the suspects pulling Allen's daughter out of the car.
He jumps in the driver's seat. I'm standing on the outside looking in, and he points a gun in my oldest boy's face.
Her son gets out, and that's when Allen braves it to grab her grandchildren from the back seat. The whole time, one of the suspects was still yelling for the keys. When they couldn't figure out how to take that car, Allen threw her keys on the ground. And you can see here, they soon after take off in Allen's car that was parked in the lawn.
Amazing. No police come, shots being fired. I'm sure the neighbor, if they were around, they heard the shots being fired. And there was another car just driving by down the road. And this family, they were going home from the other family house, and this happened. And you voted to defund the police. Agreed to do it.
That's in the beautiful capital, I think, of Mississippi, Jackson.
Is this where that black guy is the mayor who made a promise he's going to do something weird? He's going to do something in Mississippi.
Chokwe Antar Lumumba.
Is he the mayor of that city?
I think he is.
Of that town?
I think so.
And then he promised he was going to do something that was black.
He's the 7th straight black to hold the position of mayor of Jackson, Mississippi.
And a whole lot of blacks in Jackson, right?
Oh, yeah.
And what a mess.
Somebody said a high percentage. I don't know if
of blacks.
Supposedly 82% black, 16% white.
With that few number of white people, I'd be getting way out of town. Not just the suburb, but the other suburb over there beyond, past that suburb.
Yeah, this guy's a socialist, progressive, with a crazy name.
What a mess. That's what's happening, folks. And human beings are evil. Human nature. That's why you need a new nature. Human nature is evil.
He wanted to make Jackson the most radical city on the planet.
That's what he said. Something like that. I kind of remember something crazy that he said, and they voted for him.
Yeah. Yeah, he got 93% of the vote.
Super chat.
Okay. Over on
Super chats.
I forget what you said about the meek.
I
What the
forgot
Bible
too,
means
but
about
I
the
said
meek.
it.
Okay, cool. But you answered that.
I answered that, yeah.
All right. Evgeny Crosby with a diamond says Robert De Niro has hot sauce in his purse emoji.
Did you see where Robert held a press conference yesterday in New York over there by Trump trial thing?
I did.
And they let him have it. Robert lost it.
Yeah.
He said F you or something.
Right. He said, because somebody said, you stink or you're washed up. He's like, if you, he's 80 years old acting like that.
He hasn't been out there. What the?
Yeah, it was crazy. He's been acting that way. He's like, Trump is a punk. I want to punch him in the face sometimes. He said that back in 2016.
Well, I wonder why he hates Trump so much.
I think is he the one who's interracially married? But he's a liberal.
Oh,
He's like
okay.
a mama. He's a beta.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He also says Robert De Niro shaves his legs with Gillette razors. I disavow. I think that's just hearsay.
Gillette,
It's just a rumor.
the best a man can get. Joe said he is married to a black woman.
He is married to a black woman? Okay.
Where you get that from? Is that true, Joe? I know one of those.
He's the one who has had a couple of black wives, right?
I don't know. Once you go black, you can't go back.
He's been married twice in his life. Diane
Where's Joel?
Abbott
Joel said according to
and Grace
Wikipedia.
Hightower.
According to Wikipedia, he is married.
And now
I mean,
he's
he
with-
was married to a black woman.
And now he's with a gal, Tiffany Chen.
She black too?
That sounds like an Asian.
Oh.
But yeah, he had like a nasty divorce with a child custody drama with Grace Hightower, I think. Who is this black woman?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Anyway.
Anyway, whatever. Thank you.
Thank you, Evgeny Crosby with
Yeah.
the diamonds. Urinal Chills says he's a monthly supporter on Rumble.
Thank
Good
you.
morning. How y'all? You got to know how to rumble. So we don't got to know, but everyone does.
Amazing. Thank you. You got to know how to rumble.
Dave ZX6R bought a coffee, a non-pithy coffee. Bill Lockwood said the Bible says the earth is a sphere, but the Bible also states it has a firmament and doesn't mention God creates anything else besides heaven and earth. Could be a sphere with a flat horizontal land with the firmament half the sphere and the underground the other half. Could it not? A bit like the snow globe toy. Important subject they teach children in school about the globe earth and the solar system, as well as how our feelings are important, etc. It's interesting how not all but most people believe the earth is a globe without knowing and then get defensive when anyone suggests otherwise.
Keep it piffy. I love the fact when I asked Bill would he like to debate somebody on that. He like, no, he doesn't waste his time debating nonsense stuff.
Yeah, it's not worthwhile.
Yeah, that was deep.
And then he went in on the Catholics.
I know. I mean, but thank you, absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Canadian David gave a Rumble rant. VP Lockwood has a nice ring to it. Someone get that man in contact with the Great White Hope.
That's for sure.
Vice
Bill
President.
Lockwood, I believe, would be an amazing vice president and then a president. He is smarter than Nightingale. Check him out. He was here yesterday on the podcast, rebuildingtheman.com. Thank you.
Not a victim bought a coffee. I wonder if God's life, because
And we're going to get to all your calls, folks, all right? Just be patient. Go ahead.
I wonder if God's life, because when he isn't here, life is worthless sometimes. What is life actually? Please explain.
I don't understand that question.
I think he's asking if God is life, but he puts apostrophe S after God.
Be clear with the question. I can't respond if I don't quite know what you refer to. I just don't want to say anything. You know what I mean? So be clear with it. Thank you, though. I appreciate it.
Thank you, not a victim. But he does ask, what is life, actually? That's separate from anything else he asked.
What is life?
Yeah.
Energy.
Nice.
Amazing. Thank you.
Trump has a lot of life.
Full of it.
Age of Inversion bought donated a Rumble rant. Jesse, the cops don't protect law-abiding people. Instead, they beat up grandmas for not wearing the slave muzzle, meaning the mask, China virus mask. More cops won't solve anything, says Age of Inversion.
We don't even have cops anymore. A handful, and they're afraid to do the job.
Oh, the good ones quit.
Yeah.
They knew better than to stay with this mess.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good cops not welcome. Not a victim. Thank you for your coffee as well. Charles bought a coffee. If Jesse ever asked me, who am I, my response would be, sing-song emojis, I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody who can save anybody. Can Jesse sing this song?
I never heard that song.
Me neither. I don't even know the melody.
Me either. I never heard that song, but thank you.
And thank you, guys. I do believe... Oh, no. Aries 1 with a diamond says, I can't believe it would get this bad. Clown emojis.
And the one thing you can bank on, you can take this to the bank. It's going to get worse because of human hearts. And hell is inside of human beings and on earth. So get ready. I will work on myself if I were you, so I can be above all this. And that way you'll be at peace and amongst all this hell. Otherwise, you're not going to make it. 888-77-JESSE. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's me. Xenia says she was on Reddit seeing a bunch of Redditors say that they would arm up if Trump got back into office.
I don't know what that is.
If Redditors? Reddit is a social media platform.
Oh, okay.
How do you not know about Reddit?
I don't know.
Everybody knows about Reddit.
Nice. I wouldn't be speaking that way. Is it liberal or something?
Yeah, liberals.
Oh, they said, and the liberals said they're going to arm up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The liberal can say it.
Right.
But not the conservatives. Y'all be saying that.
Don't be talking about arming up conservatives.
That's what they want you to do. But thank you.
And thank you, guys. I do believe that is all for now.
Oh, amazing. It's amazing, too. Thank you all very much. That's what they want. They want us fighting, a literally outright fight, or fighting one another, and they're going to lock up all the decent people and leave the evil people out of jail. It'll be total chaos. They want you fighting. Don't fall for it. They want you fighting. Don't fall for it. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Vicki out of Texas. Vicki, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning, Vicki. How are you?
We're doing well.
Good.
I wanted to answer the biblical question.
Are emotions necessary? Are emotions necessary?
They're very unnecessary.
And what do you mean? Explain.
Well, I used to thrive off of emotion, as humans do. Most humans. But people that get to know themselves and live from within, you see that thoughts create emotion, and then emotion, it'll go on to create a reaction in humans. 99.9% of the time, the reaction is not good. That's from my perspective. And emotions are complete control, absolute control. And that's where the demons want you. That's where Satan wants you. He wants to control you. And I can't buy into the thought thing. Thoughts just aren't real. They're not real. All of this, like I've said before, it's an illusion. We are in hell, and we are supposed to get ourselves out.
And so you say emotions are not necessary, right?
At all.
And so do you ever get emotional?
Not anymore.
You never get emotion at all?
Nope.
Amazing.
No, as a matter of fact, we just had a guy that we had to let go here because of his emotions. He was getting very angry and throwing his tools around and getting real emotional, and it was just getting, we had to let him go. And now he's literally going around saying that he wants to burn us alive, and And I just was like, wow, like how emotional can one person get? But I understand it though, because I used to be that way. So when you start to see clear, you see that everyone is in the same boat, right? I was in that same boat.
Amazing.
But now you see that it's not that person. It's not that person that we let go. It's who was controlling him. So
Well,
I can still love him. You know, I can still love him, but he's trespassed now. So
I appreciate you responding to the biblical question. I will put my little 2 cents in on Sunday if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. Thank you so much, Vicki. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day, Jesse. We love you. You know that.
You too. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right now.
Bye.
Bye. 888-7753-773. What I want to do real fast, I just want to finish up this this whole thing about human nature and human beings are evil and the nature of human beings are evil. I don't even know why. I kind of know, I think, why at one time human beings thought human nature was good. I don't know why that was a thing at one time. And I am going to answer your call, but... And then I wanted to give you another example of how you're being controlled, not only from the hell within, from outside, inside of others, too. Evil people thrive on controlling others. They thrive on it. They wouldn't exist if they didn't have others to control. That's why they roam the earth and build a war against you in order to try to control you. Will you continue to let yourself to be controlled, or will you overcome the control inside of you so you can overcome it outside, inside of others? Will you? I want to, and I mentioned how they want you fighting over. They want you fighting. They want you arguing over nothing real, nothing concrete. It's not real. And they have you fighting over race. Can you imagine you fight over race? You think one race is better than another one? Color. You think one color is better than another one. And some of you know that Joe Biden and the radical Democratic Party are desperate to try to maintain control so they can continue to lie and control the people. Keep you divided so they can conquer. And then, according to some of the reports, they are starting to lose control of some of the blacks, and they don't know what to do with that. They have not lost the blacks in 70 years or something. And now the blacks act like, some of them act like they want to wake up. Ain't no waking up. We're going to do whatever we can to keep you asleep, they say. So Biden is speaking at Morehouse College. He brings up George Floyd. Watch this.
You missed your high school graduation. You started college just as George Floyd was murdered. And there was a reckoning on race. What is democracy? If black men are being killed in the street, what is democracy? The trail of broken promises still leave black communities behind. You have to be 10 times better than anyone else to get a fair shot.
Why do you think Biden said that to the blacks at a graduation? Number one, it's not true. You don't have to be 10 times better than anyone to have a life. That's not true at all. And what does it have to do with George Floyd? Why do you think he said that to them? To brainwash and control them. Too many blacks are leaving the plantation of the Democratic Party. That's why he said it to you. What did that have to do with graduation? How did that, what did it have to do with going out getting a job now that you finished college? Nothing, zero. There was nothing encouraging about that. There was no life in it. At a black graduation. Some people turned their back on Joe Biden at this event. But I think it was for a different reason. I think it was about the war in Israel. I may be wrong about that. But that had nothing to do with graduation. That was an attempt to continue to control. It was about that. It had nothing, it wasn't encouraging, it wasn't uniting the races, it was dividing them. And they let him speak there with that to the blacks. The City Journal is reporting that 2 years ago, Biden signed an executive order codifying into federal law aspect of the unenacted George Floyd Justice Police Act. That means nothing but another attempt to control you. How long will you allow yourself to be controlled? When will you be free? Christ came that you might have peace, perfect peace, right here on earth. 888-77-JESSE. When I come back, your phone calls and your super chats. Back in a moment. Amazing stuff, huh? We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. Support us on social media. Go over there and like, ring the bell, sign up, whatever. Y'all know what to do, right? I appreciate it. JLP Talk on X and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram, cozy.tv, and rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, cozy.tv/JLP. And donate at Bond, rebuildingaman.com. Rebuildingaman.com/donate. I do appreciate it. Thank you, all right. Let me go to Is it Cuba? Our first time call out of California. Cuba, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Beautiful. Okay, so let me give you a little quick background. And by the way, I really appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
When I listen to you, I feel like I'm listening to myself. And anyhow, so I've been on my own since I was 12. Talk about having hell in me. You know, I've been on my own since 12. I lived with 17 different families. You know, my dad, he left my mom on their 18th anniversary dinner. She came home and she set the house on fire. You know, like she locked herself in her closet. She tried to bury herself under her clothes. And I'm 11 years old and dealing with this. And so anyhow, I ended up living with 17 different families from then on because my dad was nowhere to be found. Mom went to a mental facility. And by the time I was 17, I said, you know what, I want to take care of myself. So I started working. I got my own place. I got my own car. I was playing music professionally. Anyhow, I got into in-home care. And I started living with different people, taking care of them. I've lived in 81 places I've moved in my life.
How old are you?
And I'm 35.
Oh, okay.
And so anyhow, I wind up with this manic depressive bipolar guy. He was in a 13-day mania. And he, long story short, set the house on fire. And I woke up, you know, from my sleep to the roof coming down over my bed. And it would have smashed me, but there was a bookshelf that it hit. And anyhow, so I came out of the house. There's a bunch of firemen there. There was still somebody in the house. They said nobody else is going back in the house. It's too late. I went in there anyways, and I drugged this 340-pound guy out.
Why?
And because he was still in there. And
well, why are you leaving there?
Because I felt obligated. I was on, you know, I was working. I was his in-home care, and he was my patient. So
I got
felt really
you.
bad
Oh, okay. Even though he set the house on fire, according to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Anyhow, and so I refused hospitalization, and I didn't realize that I had smoke inhalation from breathing in smoke from being in there. And about a week later, somebody offered me some pot, and I took a hit, and I had respiratory failure, and I died there on the ground. The ambulance said I was dead for 4 or 5 minutes by the time they got there. They gave me CPR twice. They defibrillated me once. They pronounced me dead, and as they're putting their gear away, I gasped for air, and they induced a coma where I stayed for 25 days. I was in a coma, completely aware and conscious of everything that was going on the whole time. And when I came out of the coma, they were talking to my family about making funeral arrangements. And I'm like, I'm alive, you know, I'm alive, trying to talk. But they improperly intubated me, and it was a traumatic situation. I suffered TBI. They said I was going to be on medication and brain damage for the rest of my life. They said there was a softball-sized chunk of
and so while you
brain.
were in the coma, you were aware. You knew what was going on around you.
Yeah, completely. I mean,
you could hear people and everything.
And it was weird. It was like everywhere around me was complete darkness, like the deepest, darkest darkness you could ever imagine, forever. And around my body was like a 5-foot space. Anybody who came within like 5 feet of my body, I could see them and I could hear them.
Oh, okay.
And when I looked down at myself, all I saw was light. And so it was like I was just this ball of light in the middle of darkness, you know, staying close to my body. And I would wander away from my body, and the further I would get, it would start to dim out. And so I wandered so far from it at one point, I knew if I went any further that I wasn't going to be able to come back. And so I thought about it for a second, and when I came to my body, I could feel my body yelling at me, telling me, leave me alone. I don't want you here. Just go away. Leave me alone, like it was crying to me.
And because of time, how did it finally end?
At the what?
I said because of time, how did it finally, how you finally overcame the coma and you're doing well now?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Well, see, that's the thing is, you know, like since I went through a lot of stuff when I was younger, like my dad broke my arm and my nose and my collarbone when I was 4. And again, when I was 8, he broke my nose before he left. and all of this craziness. And so I worked through all that stuff. It's like,
but how did the coma? How did it come? So when you now that you overcome the coma situation and the burning and all that, are you back to normal? How's life now?
See, that's what I was getting at. Is like I worked through all my trauma and things like that. I thought when I was growing up, but after the coma, like it seems like all these bad habits have just got personified. I'm smoking all the time now. I'll do drugs sometimes. I get angry. All this stuff that it feels like it came out of nowhere. Like before, I would take pride in that nobody could make me angry. I was like impossible to get angry. There was no anger in me. And since the coma, it's like there's all this anger. And my uncle, he's the pastor of the largest Christian church in California, Calvary Chapel.
Hey, don't say the name of the church. Hey, don't say the name of the church.
I'm sorry. Okay.
I don't know your pastor.
Pastor of a really large church. And he keeps telling me that, God still has plans for me and he's not done with me. That's why I came back, but I know I made the choice to come back, like unless like a Christ-like consciousness or a God-like consciousness is what we're naturally supposed to be. Like I made the choice to come back, but everybody tells me, and I'm smoking a cigarette or drinking a beer while they're telling me God has plans for me still. And I'm like, is this his plans for me he brought me back so I can, abuse my body and just smoke cigarettes and stuff. And, like great things have happened since I came back from the coma. But, I feel like my life could be so much better if I would only pull my head out of my ass, and
we have little kids listen. We have little kids on the phone too listening.
I'm so sorry, kids.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, like everybody just keeps telling me that God still has plans for me and he's not done with me yet. It's like, is this what he brought me back for? Just to float through the rest of my life. I feel like I'm doing great things. I'm proud of the stuff that I'm involved with, but, is this his plans for me to just be doing what I'm doing now? Or, like why else would he bring me back from the dead? Like,
and so your question for me is what?
Is, what you think people mean when they tell me that God still has a plan for me? And would he bring me back if he knew that I was just going to squander the chance that he gave me?
Well, when people tell you that, they're just doing that to try to make you feel better. They have no idea what they're talking about, period.
Exactly.
Because they do not know God's plan for you. They don't know why God let you survive this situation. And so they're just saying that to make you feel good.
Right. Yeah, that's what I figured. I just, I wonder, like, did he just plan? Did he just want me to live my life?
Yes.
Did he? That's what I figured.
He wants you to just live. He created you. He sent his son and saved you from your hell so you can have life. He just wants you to live, and he'll take care of you.
Okay. Well, I'll take that. Can I ask you one more quick question?
He wants you to, all people, those that want it, but he's not going to force anyone at all. He wants you to return to the Father so that you can have life. And that's why he's encouraging you to drop all your anger. Don't hold anything against yourself or anyone else for any reason at all, because anger is of your father, the devil. Anger is a false identity that made a home in you, and you've been identified with that all your life. And he wants you to overcome. He wants you to return to the Father. He's made it possible.
Right, but lately you've been talking about free will and stuff, and how like we don't have free will.
No.
And like I want, like all I've wanted my whole life is to have a close relationship with God. Like whenever I would say something or do something I wasn't supposed to do, my mom would tell me, sweetie, every time you cuss or every time you do something or lie, Jesus is bleeding more on the cross. And it's kind of crazy that she would tell me that, but what it did was it taught me to think about somebody that I've never even met and may never even meet with all my actions and the things that I do and the things that I say.
And who was that?
And
God?
Yeah, God or Jesus.
Oh,
you know,
you
I know
would,
they're
that
different.
cause you to think about God, you say?
Yeah, it would. You know, I would
You want to
think,
know
you know,
God?
More than anything. But I feel like if I don't have free will, and you said God wants me to come back to the Father, like if I don't have free will, how can I do that?
By, number one, stop trying. Because of yourself, you
Well,
can do
that's what I've
nothing.
done, and I've done that. Now I'm smoking cigarettes, and I never used to drink beer. Now I have like a beer every
You've
day,
done
and
what?
it's like. Like before, I never smoked, never drank.
You
Before
said,
the coma,
you
I said I would
said
never.
I have done that. What is it that you have done?
Smoking and drinking?
No, I said that God wants you to stop trying and just live. And you said, I have done that.
Right, yeah, I have.
Because you
and,
were talking about free will, and you don't have a free will.
Right. And so...
And
I
so
mean,
when
like,
you say, I have done that, what have you done? When I said stop trying, and you said, I've done that, what are you saying?
I just started living my life and not thinking about it at all. Like, normally I don't think about anything. Like, I take care of 100 acres in the Redwood Forest. I'm a caretaker here, and like,
And so if you're not thinking about anything, why are you tripping?
Because listening to you lately, a lot of the topics that have been talked about, they remind me of what's happened recently in my life. And, you know, I would wonder to myself, if I could ask Jesse a question, what would it be? And there's only two that I can think of. And one was the one I just asked you. And the other one...
but if you're not
different.
thinking, you can't be tripping.
You're right.
And so why you say you're not thinking when you really are thinking, that's why you're smoking and doing that other stuff, because you're into your imagination.
Just because, you know, like, I didn't really think of it before I started drinking and I started smoking, because I thought, you know, it doesn't matter, you know, like, I'm just going to do whatever it is that I want to do and just continue to be a good person. And
you're not a good person.
Tell me about it.
And you never was.
That's why I wanted to be. That's why I want to be.
But why did you say
you
you stopped thinking when you haven't?
Thinking too much, I guess.
But you said I stopped thinking. Why did you say that?
Because I want that to be the case.
But that's not the case.
Right. And so, man, it's almost like every time I fall out of the correct context with what I'm saying, it's like everything I'm saying is a waste of breath, and everything that you're saying back to me is it's about nothing, because I'm making it up from thoughts that I'm thinking that have nothing to do with anything.
Right. What?
Isn't that beautiful?
Either you stop
beautiful, though.
Everything. Either you stop thinking, or you're into your imagination, while saying that you're not into your imagination.
You're right. Oh man, it's just there's so few people to talk to about this stuff that actually can give you an opinion that is worthy of listening to, and I'm just really glad that you picked up the call. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have you forgiven your parents, your father and mother, for all that mess that you went through?
I totally have. Like,
you told them?
Yeah, I've done it multiple times, and when I woke up from the coma and everyone was there, I was like, oh my God, it's been like 10 years since my family's been together. I was like, I need to talk to you guys. And I could barely talk, but they all sat on the bed, and I forgave them for, you know, everything that happened, and I let them know that I know that they didn't mean it, and they didn't know what they were doing. It's not
why
like
are you forgiving them over and over again? If you have truly forgiven them, why are you doing it more than once?
Ego.
Yeah,
you know, because one time my brother and sister were there. I wanted them to see, because I hoped they would do the same. And this was all before I learned about you. It was, you know, if I would have heard you first, I probably wouldn't have done it when anybody else was around, and there wouldn't be so much ego involved in it.
Right. And so your question for me is what?
I don't have a question anymore.
Amazing.
There is something else I did want to say, though.
Let me
you
ask
have
you
another
this
minute.
first. Are you doing the silent prayer
Yes, I am.
morning and night?
And noon and in between and
Oh, okay.
all the above.
Well, I want you to know that all you need to do, if you're forgiven, you have gone and forgiven your parents. You have been forgiven by God. And now all you need to do is stay present. Do the silent prayer and practice being present. Not lost in your imagination, your head, thinking about the future or the past, which doesn't exist. You stay present, and the rest will be done for you as well. He will give you a clear mind. He will give you, your way will be made easy. You will finally just live, and you will live a life without thinking.
Okay. Thank you.
But you got to stay present now. And present just means keep your mind where your body is, for the lack of a better word. But don't focus on your mind. Just keep it where your body is so that you don't be thinking about the past or the future. You won't be into worry and jealousy and envy and strife, all that mess. You'll be free.
Right.
But you got to just simply practice staying present. When you go in and out of your house, be aware of yourself going in and out. When you're walking from one room to another in your home, slow down and walk to the room and be aware of yourself walking to the room, going in and out to your car. Just be aware, you'll be fine.
Beautiful.
And as far as the smoking and the drinking, don't judge yourself about that. Don't judge it. Just be aware of that, but have no opinion about it. Just be aware of it.
So when I think about how I drink and I smoke now, and then I think that God probably doesn't like that, and it might be getting in my way of being in alignment with Him again. Is that wasting my time? Is that judging myself?
Yeah, you're worshiping the devil. You're thinking with the devil. God can kill two hoops in a holler about you drinking.
Thank you. That's what I knew that.
And so stop judging yourself for it, because the drinking is not the problem. The reason for the drinking is the problem. You're trying to escape instead of enduring the pain so that you can overcome it.
Right.
You got to endure the loneliness. You got to endure the sadness. You got to endure the anger. You got to endure all those evil spirits that made a home in you. And instead of drinking to try to run away from that, you got to relax and go through it. You got to go through the hell. You got to be tried in the fire.
Yep. Well, I'm feeling pretty toasted right now, but
you feeling what?
I'm feeling pretty toasted right now.
You been drinking today?
No, I just mean like in the fire, like toasted. I feel like I'm getting cooked.
Oh, and when I say the fire, I mean God said to present your body a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto Him. He mean bring all of your fears, your doubts, your worries, your all that, bring that unto Him, and He would take it away from you. Don't you try to solve it. You just need to be aware of it, and He would take it all away from you and make you free.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you, Jesse.
I want you to stay with it, but stop judging. Don't have any opinion about it at all. Don't argue with the devil about it. Don't argue with other people about it. You just be aware. That's all you need to do.
Okay. I'll do it. It's done.
Let me know how it goes.
I will. Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate you, man.
You're welcome, brother. I wish you well.
Thanks.
You just got to be aware. Let me go to Jose, a first-time caller out of Wisconsin. Jose, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Oh, no time for what?
Jesse, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I just have a question on how do you deal with family members dealing with divorce? Like, let's say a family member is dealing with divorce, and just you don't obviously want nobody to go through a divorce. It's kind of hard, you know. And you know, I don't know. I want to ask your perspective on that.
But I don't understand the question. Speak up a little bit.
Oh, can you hear me?
I
hear me
can
good?
now, yes. I don't understand the question.
Well, let's say a family member is going through divorce. It's just like, how do you...
Are you going through the divorce or someone
No,
else?
I'm not going through divorce. It's just like trying to help somebody. Because, you know, when it comes down to the point is like, obviously in a marriage, you don't want nobody to divorce, right?
Why not?
Because, it's very important to keep the family together.
Why?
Because, it's in the, in the rules, I would say. I guess, I don't know, you just don't go through God and tell them, hey, I'm not going to quit on this person. I don't know. That's what I would think.
Most marriages are not put together by God. It's rare that you can find one marriage that's been put together by God.
All right.
And so your question for me is what?
What is a good advice for two couple, they're going through divorce? I don't know.
But you're not going through divorce, right?
I'm not myself.
It's somebody else going through a divorce, right? Are you able to hold on for me, Jose?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, buddy. Let me take a quick break so I can be fair with you in time. I got Hake coming in with Hake News. I'll be back.
Before I ask my question, I want to thank you so much. The silent prayer. I'm 50 years old. At home, we have a 16-year-old, 14-year-old, and a 10-year-old. And I got to tell you, introducing the silent prayer to my family, instead of just sitting down and saying the same old prayer over and over again before we eat our meal, to just be silent, bringing all thoughts into captivity. Brother, that has been such a huge, huge blessing in our lives. I just want to encourage anyone to try that out. It's amazing to look around after we've done our silent prayer before we eat, to see the excitement in my kids' faces, like, oh yeah, Dad, I had a bunch today. Or the other one will be like, yeah, I had a couple things that I've been thinking about. It really takes root, Jesse, and so I want to thank you so much. And ever since then, it's been absolutely amazing. So thank you so much.
You're welcome, Tony. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. You're going to know God and His love. It's going to be amazing, man.
Pope Francis apologizing to the gays, or at least the gay agenda, commie nonsense. And OpenAI's Sam Altman is vowing to give away most of his wealth along with his so-called husband, and not a Christian, by the way, and Gaza drama and bird flu mess. This is the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Wednesday, May 29th, AD 2024. There is one line open. You can call in right now during Hake News, Not Fake News, and Manhood Hour. Hour 3 is coming right up on the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. After the JLP show, the Hake Report, and then Joel Friday TV, and then American Anchor, baby. You can find all of our links by going to jesseleepeterson.com/show, #network. Look down on the network section, and you find both Bill Lockwood as well as the network hosts. Nice, huh? Pope Francis versus the gays drama continues. CNN and the far-left female-run outlet The Skim report Pope Francis or his spokesman apologizing for what he supposedly said about so-called gay, so-called men. Lame. He's 87 years old, by the way, the so-called pontiff, which I guess means pope, issuing an apology. Italian media on yesterday, had quoted unnamed Italian bishops in reporting they leaking bishops, reported that Pope Francis, jokingly used the term hurtness. Yesterday's CNN report had said that he used tree. They had translated it, right, because he spoke Italian, I guess. While speaking in Italian during the encounter, it was a closed-door meeting, not supposed to be leaking the information. He had used the term in reaffirming that the Vatican had a ban on allowing so-called gay men to enter seminaries and be ordained priests. This Bruni is the what's the guy's name? Matteo Bruni is the Vatican spokesman. Vatican, I guess, is the capital of the Catholic Church or something like that, inside of Italy. He said that Francis was aware of reports and recalled that the Argentine Pope, the Pope is from Argentina, who had made outreach to LGBTQ plus Catholics a hallmark of his papacy, his stay as Pope. He's long insisted there was room for everyone in the Catholic Church. The Pope never intended to offend or express himself in homophobic terms. That's what the Vatican spokesman said. A Christian church, the Christian, so-called Christian, at least Catholic Church, using such a term, homophobic. What the heck? And he extends his apologies to those who were offended by the use of a term that was reported by others. He carefully avoided an outright confirmation that he did indeed use the term, in keeping with the Vatican's tradition of not revealing what the Pope says behind closed doors, but he also didn't deny what Francis said. Whatever. What a mess, huh? Dumb drama. Anyway, OpenAI is, speaking of gay, Sam Altman vows to give away most of his wealth. CNN reports 39-year-old Stanford dropout Samuel Harris Altman, not a Christian, and his so-called husband have become the newest billionaires to sign the Giving Pledge, a charity that encourages the so-called ultra-rich to donate their wealth to philanthropic causes. And philanthropy is degeneracy most of the time, I think. Anyway, Gaza drama, crooked Joe Biden not altering his policy toward Israel, he says, following the recent Israeli strike that killed more than 45 people at a displacement camp in Rafah. That was on Sunday, I guess. The Black on the Inside White House said that Tuesday. Despite international outrage over that strike, the Black on the Inside White House indicated the attack did not cross a red line that would affect U.S. support. Munitions made in the United States were used in the deadly strike, so claims CNN. Tuesday, the temporary pier constructed by the U.S. military to give aid to Gaza, it broke apart in heavy seas, said the Pentagon. The repairs will take more than a week, further delaying efforts to give the maritime corridor full opening to give aid to the poor Palestinians. And I'll have to tell you about the bird flu another day, or on the Hake report. But now back to the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, Manhood Hour, Hour 3.
Got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. Excuse me. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show already. There are two lines open. If you want to jump in there at 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse, Jesse. My biblical question for this week, and it's a doozy. The biblical question: are emotions necessary? Are emotions necessary? Amazing. I appreciate the responses to the biblical question, too. It shows that you are examining yourself. Pretty cool. If you're out and about, you can listen to the show on your cell phone or iPad no matter what you're doing, where you are, we're heard around the world by everybody and their mama. You can call the listen line at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131 on your iPhone. You can podcast the show later, but if you want to talk to me on the show now, it's 888-7753. 773 888-77-JESSE, JESSE. And to donate to have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/Jesse, JLP Talk. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk. And they're going to get the phone out there in a minute. They're going to answer. Watch how they're going to answer in a minute. Okay, they got it. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. All right? Bond JLP Cash App. So it's Wednesday. It's the last hour of the show for Wednesday. It is man. Oh, we're not ready yet. What the? What they be doing when I be talking? It is Manhood Hour, but they're pulling up the video there. And I'm tarrying in hopes. You want me to come back to it?
No. Right here.
Huh?
Ready.
Huh?
Ready.
It's ready?
Ready.
It is Manhood Hour. What is a man? What is a man?
It's an adult human male.
Manhood. Hillary or President Trump?
I voted for Hillary Clinton.
Beta.
Welcome to the Stronger Men's Conference.
How low?
Because I want to be a stronger man.
There's only one way to get there.
If you can keep your head when all about you losing theirs and blaming it on you.
Former President Donald Trump following day 2 of his hush money trial.
A misogynist pig and a liar.
Trump rhymes with dumb. Or being lied about. Don't deal in lies.
The first person to actually criminally prosecute Donald Trump is a black Harvard grad.
She's so proud.
For being hated. Don't give way to hating.
That's president because he's not my president. He's an illegitimate president.
The more people tell you it's not possible, that it can't be done, the more you should be absolutely determined to prove them wrong.
Deep. What manner of man is this? The wind and sea obey him. I love that F point. It is the New Testament. It really, if you read the New Testament and you heard that poem, the if poem, you'll be like, what the? I'm telling you this. I don't know how Donald Trump did all the stupid trials and mess gonna go. I don't know how things gonna turn out. I have to wait and see. But Donald Trump is one of the kind. And you can be that way too if you take control of your own life, if you overcome the hell. Amazing. Anyway, I want to go quickly back to Jose, a first-time call out of Wisconsin. And Jose, you said, you asked, restate your question for me, buddy.
Hi, Jesse. Thank you for your time.
Yes. Okay.
Just how do you deal with family members that are going through divorce, women? You know what I mean? Now, social media and all that stuff.
Right. So how do you deal with someone else in your family that are going through a divorce? You're not going through a divorce, right?
No.
And how do you deal with it? The way you deal with it is stay away from it. It has nothing to do with you.
Okay.
Let them suffer through their own hell in hope that they might wake up. Don't give them your advice on it or anything because it doesn't go the way that you say it's going to go. They're going to blame you.
Okay.
Let them fight with one another. Let them go through their own hell. That's their hell and not yours. Don't make their hell yours.
Interesting. Yep. Okay.
What do you
That's
think
part
about?
of-
What do you think about that?
No, it makes sense. They're, because people come and talk about their problems, and you're over here trying to be a ear, and help out, but
People love talking about their problem. They get a thrill from it. They don't really want you to help them with the problem. They just want you to hear it so they get the thrill for complaining about it.
Okay.
They don't really want help.
That's actually really probably the best advice I ever heard. Thank you.
You're welcome, buddy.
I won't waste your time anymore.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. 888-7753-773. Nicole is out of Georgia. Georgia on my mind. Nicole, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. How are you today?
All is well, Nicole.
All is well. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. I
our
am
birthday
older
too.
than dirt.
No, you're not.
Yeah, God made me, and then He made dirt so that I could walk on.
That laugh. Yeah, our birthdays are 2 days apart.
Right on. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I'm 1 year younger than Israel, so I'm older than a country.
That's a blessing.
That's right.
Hope I live to see it.
That's right. But go ahead.
Yes. I heard a caller before me, 2 callers before me, and I just wanted to come in. I was thinking about what he was saying about free will, and I was just thinking that once we see the light, God's will is free. It's free from all the lies that we believe, and since He's inside of us, it's free for us to live. So I also wanted to comment on the question, are emotions necessary?
The biblical question, are emotions necessary?
I say absolutely not. I was SA from a family member at the age of 13, and after that, I just wanted to be perfect, and it made perfection my enemy. It's like, and then that's when all my false identities, I felt like entered, from that day on, life. It's like all the identities that I was believing came from that enemy of perfection. And it made me want just to do everything right, people pleaser. It gave me all my insecurities of shame, blame.
Did you
It
say
made
you
me a
were
victim.
Did you say you were sexually assaulted at 13?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. All right.
And it just put all those false identities in me, all my insecurities,
And so
the shame, the blame, and
Oh, so you're responding to the biblical question by using that as an example?
right.
And the biblical question is emotions necessary. You said no, they're not?
Absolutely not.
And why do you say they're not?
Because of what happened to me at 13, it made that emotion of want to be perfect. It was an emotion, and it gave me all my insecurity. Emotions, your insecurities are fed off your emotions. You feel shame. You're blaming others. You want to be a victim. I found myself being needy, throughout my life up until now. And to me, they're absolutely not necessary because it's a crutch. It's a crutch, and it lets in the false identity. That's what I'm trying to say. It lets in the false identity.
And so you don't get emotional? You don't become emotional anymore?
No.
I get emotional, baby.
No, because it's in my thoughts, and I'm watching my thoughts now.
Right on.
So I just wanted to respond to that.
Well, I put
And-
my 2 cents in on Sunday. I do appreciate you responding to the biblical question, but I want to ask something else that you said about free will. You don't believe that we have a free will?
I don't think so. I think God will is free. It's free. It's free in the sense that it don't have all the false identities, don't have all the lies in it.
So you don't believe that we have a free will?
I don't until we see the light. God's will makes us free.
And so you don't believe that we have a free will?
I don't believe we have a free will.
So you don't believe you have one either?
No, I don't believe I have a free will. No.
Have you did you believe beforehand that you had a free will?
I used to hear people say that we have a free will, and my thoughts on that was, yes, we have a free will to choose good from bad, to know, to choose what's right and wrong, good from bad.
Do you still believe that?
Yes, I believe, yes, I guess I do still believe that we have a right to choose good from bad.
So you still believe that you have a free will to choose good from evil, from bad?
Yeah, because do you want to stay in your hell or you want to get out when you see the light?
And so you believe that you have a free will to choose good from bad, you say?
Yeah, from growing up and stuff, that's what I thought.
Do you still think that?
Now I feel I feel that God will is free. It's just free from all the things that we believe.
And do you still believe that you have a free will to choose good from bad?
Yes, I feel like you can choose
how can
to
you
follow
choose,
the light.
How can you choose good from bad?
Once you know right from wrong, like you know right from wrong, and I don't know, you just know that from right from wrong. And
do you know right from wrong?
Yes.
How do you know right from wrong?
I feel like God lets me see what's right from wrong.
But you don't you don't know right from wrong.
Okay. Why you say that?
Because you don't know right from wrong. No one does.
No, nobody but God knows.
Right.
So okay, so
you've been taught right from wrong, but those were wrong. No one can teach you right from wrong. That cannot be taught, period.
Okay. So, going, when you're a child or whatever, you knew, going up to hit another child that's wrong, you knew that. But like you said, that's what I was taught.
Yeah. You as a little kid, before they started teaching you, you knew right from wrong. But once they traumatized you, you only knew wrong and you don't know right.
Oh, okay. So when I was S8 at 13, I didn't know that was wrong?
No.
So that's why I picked up all those false identities and trying to be perfect?
100%.
Okay.
I guarantee you, and without a doubt, had you not had this false perception of right versus wrong, and if that would have happened to you at 13, you would have came out differently and you would have never been traumatized. You would have dealt with it, but you would not have been traumatized, period.
Okay.
Have you forgiven the person that done that?
Oh, yes, 100%.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you're doing the prayer now, the silent prayer?
In the morning and in the evening.
stay with it. All right? I want you to recommend you do what you want, but I recommend you stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
Oh, 100%.
And then during the day, if you get caught up in your thoughts, just take a relax for a minute and become present. Come back where your body is, so you'll be present instead of lost in your head.
Okay. So you don't agree with what I was saying about after the SA that all those false identities of insecurity and all that shame, you don't think they had a part of, my belief system or my thought life?
Yeah, what happened when that happened to you, you became angry. You judged the person and yourself, and you went into the thoughts, and you caught hell from that. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But if you had not judged it, you would not have gone into your thoughts about it, and it would just pass.
Okay, and that goes back to what I was taught about good.
Yeah.
Right and wrong.
100%.
Okay. So we don't have a free will.
Nope.
God only. So God will is free. It frees us up, right?
100%. God wants all to be free. He sent his son so that all can be free, and that's why you're on earth, is to be made perfect again, to return from your hell back to heaven on earth, by returning to the Father.
Correct. I 100% agree.
Amazing,
correct.
huh?
Amazing. Thank you for your time and your patience with each caller.
You're welcome.
And thank you for your time today and breaking it down to me.
Call me again, and thank you for responding to the biblical question, and I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday, all right?
All right. All right. Have a great day.
You too. Amazing.
All right.
Bye now.
Amazing. Bye.
Amazing. 888-775-3773. Jerry is out of Georgia. Georgia, oh my mind. Jerry, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
What's going on, Jesse?
All is well.
Last time we talked, I talked to you about I was living with my girlfriend's family, and they were trying to just doing weird things. Like the mother was trying to set our daughter up just to kind of break us up and things like that. It was a mess. Well, we ended up getting an apartment, and she's living with me and things like that. But she's my girl's always sad or something, or because she's missing them and things like that. So, and I feel like her folks, her mom and them implant things in her head, and they say little things. So when I get off of work and come home, she's in thoughts and stuff and thinking I'm gonna leave her stranded and things like that. But my question is what is it? Is there anything that I can do to? Because I know I can't make anybody understand, or I can't make nobody be happy or anything like that. But is there anything that I can do to have an understanding, or to try to make her feel better that her family moved so far away? Because me growing up, I just thought it was normal for you to grow up as an adult and then you separate from your family. And I just normal. Felt I don't know God's plan. I don't know the way he worked. I just felt he showed us that living with them was not the way, because it was pure hell. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's I just felt that God was showing me hey man, this is not the route. This is not the way you want to go. Because if I was unconscious, I would have followed her family. You know what I'm saying? It's and my girl's not understanding. She get it, but she's still I don't know. I just feel they say little things, and that's basically my question. Do you have any advice on what I should do as far as directing my woman to understanding?
Are you guys married?
No, sir. And it would be kind of foolish for me to marry someone if I don't even know if they're going to be. I have a son with her. I made a baby out of wedlock, and yeah. So I love my son and all that, and I'm not gonna I'm not on an ego trip. But as a dad, I love my son. I want my son with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on an ego trip, but it's I don't know. I was are they in some? I don't know if there was a family cult catfish type of thing going on. Like I just not understanding what's going on, and I eventually want to marry her. Just not just because I have my son, but I want that for my for my family. But I just don't know if we're on one accord. I don't want to come home from work and my son and my girl's gone, and it's like,
oh, I see.
You know what I'm saying? Women say one thing and they really mean another. It's like everything that most of the things that come out their mouth is just BS. It's like they say one thing, but they really don't mean what they say.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So my advice is, what do I do as a man? I don't like.
So she's not
I mean,
obeying
she stayed
you?
with me. Oh yeah. She obeys me. She listens to me. I mean, that's why she stayed. I mean, that's why she's with me now, because she's having an understanding.
But if
she
she's
didn't go with
obeying
them.
you, why is she still listening to them?
That's just my assumption, Jesse. I don't know. I just feel like they're saying things. That's my assumption. I don't know. I don't have any evidence.
So you don't have any evidence that she's listened to her family?
No, because I don't know what she does at home while I'm at work. But I just know how her family is. And, I just feel like, they not that they do anything purposely, but, she sees them hanging out, taking pictures, and she sees that, and I feel like she gets, like, a little depressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, any little thing reminds her of her family, and I'm sitting here like, is her family dead or something? Why are you, why are you acting that it's your family's dead? They just moved away. Like, you're a mother now, so it should be
So,
like...
Jerry, because of time, let me
Yes, sir.
get a better understanding. So
Okay.
You and your girlfriend moved away from your family, right? Or they moved away from you guys? You got your own place?
They moved away from us, sir.
Okay, so you have your own place now?
Yes, sir.
And then you have a son with this lady?
Yes.
And so she's not acting weird. You just think that she's listening to the family.
No, I'm not saying she acting weird, but she just be in her head. Like, or some days she'll just kind of just be like lost in thoughts or something. Like she's not happy, or she just, Give
me an example of what
Okay,
she does that makes you think she's in her head. Give me an example.
Like she'll just just kind of like stare off or something, or she's not like she doesn't communicate well, and she's just quiet. Like her body language is giving she is upset about something or sad about something, and then you got to ask a woman 1,000 times what's wrong, and they say nothing, and then they finally be like, oh, I just feel this way. You know what I'm saying? And then she finally was just like, I kind of miss my mom. You know what I'm saying? I miss them, and it's just like I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that.
Oh, number one, never, ever, 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 but never ask her again what's wrong.
Gotcha. Now, I already said that. I told myself that just yesterday. I'm not asking this woman what's wrong ever again. I'm not going to ask no more.
That's right. Because they would use that to try to control you.
Right.
They would say, oh,
right.
nothing. And then...
oh, boy, you sound just like a boy.
Nothing. And the more you ask, the more they say nothing. And then if you stop asking, then they say, you don't care. You don't even ask what's wrong with me.
What do I do about I don't know what to do about that. What do I do? I'm in a lose-lose situation. It's like, be damned if I do and damned if I don't.
You got to leave her in her hell and not care about it.
All right.
There's nothing, Jerry. I want you to hear me real clear about this. All right?
I'm listening.
There's nothing you can do about her and the hell that she's living in. She want to be in the hell. She love her hell. And until she stop loving her hell and start working on it, even when she start working on it, if she works on it, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't even do anything about your own hell that you're dealing with, but see it. And when you see it, it'll be taken away from you. But you cannot fix her, and she cannot fix you. She was screwed up already when you met her, and you were already screwed up when she met you, and two screwed up people got together, and now they're dumping more hell on each other.
Right. I mean, we're away from hell. We're away from the family.
But the hell is in her, though. Even though you moved away from the family, the hell is still in her.
Right. I guess I thought I had I know no one's good. I just thought I had a decent woman. I mean, she obeys me. She listens. You know, ain't nobody perfect. So that's why I don't judge. Because everybody has things they got to work on. So I'm not bashing her. I have things I got to work on myself.
That's right.
It's just about my son now. You feel me? It's like
I understand.
You got to sacrifice some things when it comes to your child. Like, hey, these are things we can't go to the club every day now. We got a son. It's like certain things you got to throw away because you got a son. You feel what I'm saying?
And what she say about that?
Like I said, she always. I don't know. It's like she has an understanding. Like I say, women, they say yes, I understand, but it's like talking to like a baby or something. They're like little babies or something. Like they don't know. They don't really know what they. It's like
women don't know what they want.
They don't. When she's with her family, she's, oh my God, I can't take this. I'm miserable. They talk to me crazy. Can we leave away? Then as a man, when I have a solution to the problem, we leave away. Oh my God, I'm tired, don't know what to do. It's like, what do you want me to do? When you're with them, you're sad and depressed. When you're not with them, you're sad and depressed. Like, what did you want me to do?
Let me say this to you because of time here. We're about to run out of time. Here's what you got to do. Do what you want, but you got to stop trying to fix her. And don't be afraid to lose her either. Because if you're afraid to lose her, you will be destroyed. We were not created to put anything or anyone before what is right.
You're right. I just worry about my son, Jesse. I don't want to.
But don't worry about him. Don't worry about him either, because that will be used against you too. If you got to lose him, you got to lose him, and don't worry about if you're going to lose him or not. And that's what happens when we make children out of wedlock.
But married people go. You're right. I just care about my son. I just care about my son.
But
I'm not making my son my daughter.
That's right.
I'm a dad. I'm a black dad. I just care about my son, and that's it. I mean, I don't care if she leaves. I tell her, hey, like, you know, if you want to leave, but I feel like she don't want to leave because she knows she can't have my son.
Right.
She feel like that's it. She just don't. I feel like she wants out, Jesse.
Well, then let her out. Come home one day and she gone.
Nice. She know it would be a little evil to just take my son away from my. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just have to wait and see, like you said.
So Jerry, calm down. Keep your eyes off of her. Keep them on you. And don't put anyone, including your son or anyone, before what is right. You'll be fine, no matter what happens.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jesse.
All right, buddy.
All right.
The treasure chest is now on D-Line. Open on D-Line. Back in a moment. On this side of heaven, I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy. They're miserable. They have rough lives. They're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand. I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they will become it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. Eight 773 The Hake report coming up at the top of this hour. Hake, H-A-K-E. James Hake. Hake is on fire. Don't mess with Hake. Hake got an interesting call yesterday. I happened to hear part of his show. I thought it was interesting. I was like, what? You don't want to miss the Hake Report. Believe me. It's one of a kind. At 9 a.m., from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. I had planned to ask him about that. I forgot. It was I didn't really understand it. I mean, I understood it, what was happening, but I didn't, the way Hake dealt with it, I didn't understand it. But I think he did. Amazing. From 9 to 11, the Hake Report. You don't want to miss it. And then Joel Friday TV, he black, mending relationships and returning to God. Joel Friday TV. And American Anchor Baby after that. The American Anchor Baby. At 12. Right after Joel Friday TV, all right? Energy given to him by God. A genius. He's one of the smartest people I know, other than Billy. That's it. The American Anchor Baby. All right. We're going to get to your super chats and things here in a minute. Let me go to a first-time caller out of Florida. Darren, I believe it is. Is that right? Is it Darren?
It is Darren indeed, Jesse. Darren with the D. D-A-R-R-E-N.
Oh, okay. It's D-A-R-R-E-N. They have a D-E-R-I-N. That's why I was for sure.
Oh,
but,
tomato. That's totally fine,
right
Jesse.
Welcome to the show.
I'm not a celebrity or anything anyway, so it doesn't matter if my name's from Adam or
I
whatever.
know what you mean.
I could say my name's Jebediah or whatever.
Right on. Go ahead.
Jesse, I have been feeling this lately. I love your show. I watch it on the Rumble website, and lately I've been having this feeling as I'm watching your show, this internal feeling, and it's making me feel like a certain way. And I haven't been able to really fully
understand what the heck is going on here, but it feels like
888-7753. I don't know what that was. What the? Let me go to Nehemiah out of Georgia. Nehemiah, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, how you doing, Jesse?
All is well. Thanks for calling.
No problem. Just wanted to call and say thank you to you and the crew, man. I really appreciate everything you all do and getting the truth out there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. I wanted to say also to that caller that was talking about his girlfriend or whatever.
Yes.
And wanted to marry her.
Right.
I've been married for about a year now, and I will say what you were saying 100% true. People say marriage is hard. I mean, I know I just started, but I guess one of the things that's made it real easy is like not caring at all.
Yeah.
Like as the man, like when she come up to you with that stupid stuff, it's like just kind of letting her know the truth, be an example, but just not caring like makes things so much easier.
Yeah.
And just I want to tell anybody that's looking to get married or anything like that, like if you can get that down pat, the Bible say, I know it's not probably some Thursday, but it say be careful about nothing. Like it meant it. It meant to be careful about nothing. Don't care about nothing.
Amazing.
But yeah, last thing, it's been a while since I kind of seen you. I just got back on today. I was watching an old video about Earth being flat or round or something, and I'm trying to figure out why does it matter if the Earth is flat or round? Like, why is that such a topic?
No, I don't really know. That's a good question too, but I don't really know why it became. I think because it's when things are missing in you, when you're empty like that, you got to find something to to try to make yourself feel better or something. And I think that it feels good to think about, it's a false feeling of good to think about whether the earth is round or flat or not.
That makes
So
sense.
I just think it's another ego feeling because I never think about the earth being round or flat. It's just not one of my
Right.
thoughts at all.
Never been. I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know. I don't care. Like, it ain't gonna help me or nothing. But
I know.
I guess.
What a mess. Thank you, Nehemiah. I appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you. You all keep doing your great work. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye now. 888-7753-773. Let me go to who is it? Joey out of Maine. Joey, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey.
It's good to talk to you again. I called you probably sometime last year.
Oh, okay.
And you told me, forgive your parents and do the silent prayer. And things have gotten better in that regard for sure. I got a closer relationship with my dad. I'm calling today to ask about free will.
Yes.
This is something that's kind of puzzled me for a long time, so maybe you can help me out with it. I had a friend when I was really young tell me that free will did not exist, and it really messed with me, and I was kind of got angry at him. But what I'm curious about is, do you think people are like preordained to be like good people, like followers of God, if there's no free will, and like other people are like predestined to be bad or like do evil things?
I know that for sure that God sent his son so that all may return to him. All that wanted can return. And so there are those who love their misery, they love their hell, and they don't want to return to God. They have accepted Satan as their God, hell as their God. And there's those who want to return, and they are returning to the Father. And so I don't know if preordained sound like they don't have a choice, but you can not return, or you can. It's up to you.
Okay, so yeah, I guess that's what I'm kind of like. That's where the crux of my confusion would be. I guess is like if people have a choice to return or not, because like we're born in sin. I guess the Bible says. So if we're like by default just evil people, do we have the free will to choose to follow God? You get what I'm saying?
Right. I do understand what you're saying. You have the desire to return to the Father if you want to, but you can't will yourself to turn. You can't make yourself change. You can't make yourself return to Him. But if you have that desire to want the truth will come and bring you back to Him.
Yeah. Okay. That kind of makes sense to me. I mean, I think in the Bible it talks about like the Holy Spirit bringing people to God, like He chooses you.
Yeah. He'll bring
like
you.
You don't choose Him.
He'll bring you back if you want to come back. So I don't even know what that means that He chooses you. You don't choose Him.
Yeah.
Because
I don't either.
all can return to the Father if they want. Salvation is for meaning that a return to the Father is for anyone that wants it.
Okay. All right.
The only if I can use that word free will or whatever just for conversation's sake, the only choice we can make is to give up. When you give up trying to change your life, when you give up trying to make things happen, when you give up making all these crazy decisions, thinking you know what you want, you can give up all that, and then you shall be free.
Okay. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Like the idea of where do thoughts come from too is kind of like, kind of something that makes sense. I thought about for a long time when it comes to like what you're saying is like these thoughts could come from a bad place. So when you give those things up, it's
they all come from a bad place, and when you can realize that they are coming from a bad place instead of you give up fighting with them, you give up identifying with them, you give up doing anything, and then they'll be taken away from you by the truth.
Okay, it's pretty deep. It's kind of hard to comprehend.
Are you doing the silent prayer every morning and night?
I wouldn't say every morning and night, but I do meditate. I do the silent prayer. Mm-hmm.
Well, you stay with that so that you can be made clear. You will receive a clear mind, and all things will be clear to you, and you'll just live your life.
Okay. So, I guess, all right. So if you having free will basically means you surrender all thoughts, and then not having free will means you listen to your thoughts. Is that what you mean?
No, you don't have a free will at all.
Period. Okay.
Zero. You are, as you said earlier, you're already into evil because you were traumatized by your mother, right? You're into evil. And as a result of being into that, you're born into that. You didn't decide to be evil. It's just that you were born to no good parents. They were of evil and not of good. And they traumatized you and caused you to become like them. And so now you're living that life. And when you can see that this is painful, it's not me, I don't want it, I don't want to live this way, then that's when he would come and take over.
Okay. Okay, that sounds pretty reasonable. Do you take the things in the Bible at a literal face value, like the resurrection and all that stuff?
What does it mean, literal? Like just believe it because it said it?
Well, no, not necessarily that. If it's compelling, then maybe you should believe it. I guess I don't know. I don't know what people should believe.
I only believe the things that I can see from within, not with my eyes, but more within.
Well, I mean, like the whole Christian thing is like, Jesus died and then was resurrected, and then some people I think take it figuratively, and others take it literally. So I don't know. I'm just curious I've been listening to you for a while, so I'm just kind of curious, like, what your views on that. Literal just means like it actually happened, and
you know how, and yes, he was put on the cross and all that, right? But the significance of his death and resurrection is what you got to go through if you want to be free, or I have to go through. All human beings have to go through. You're going to have to die from the false self, from the ego self, from the spirit of evil self, which is not you, and you think that is you, and you got to self-identify. You got to die from that, and when you die from that, you arise and live.
Okay. Thanks, Jesse. I'll smoke on that.
Let me ask.
Uh-huh.
Which is easier for you to accept, that you are a sinner, or all your sins been wiped away?
I think it's easier to accept that you're a sinner because that's kind of what people tell you all the time. So it's kind of like becomes your identity is that you are a sinner. So yeah, I think it's harder to accept the fact that you are not a sinner because.
So you're saying that for you, it's hard for you to. It's easier for you to accept that you're a sinner than it is for you to accept that you're not a sinner. All your sins been wiped away.
Yes, I would say that. Yeah, not that I'm some terrible person by saying that, but I think that it's easier. Like it's in your mind, it's hard to think like, I tried to stay humble to some type of degree, so I don't think I'm perfect or anything like that. So, but because people.
No, go ahead.
Just because people tell you that, like I was saying, like the Bible even, that you're a sinner, that you're born into sin, it's easier to believe that. It's harder to believe that I'm sanctified and all that stuff.
Sanctified?
Or just pure, without sin. Yeah.
If all your sins have been wiped away, how can you be with sin if you don't have it? Wiped away means that it no longer is there, right?
Yeah.
And so if that's true, how can you be a sinner?
That's a good point. Jesse. I think that
No,
might
that was a question.
Well, can you repeat the question?
If all your sins have been wiped away, how can you be a sinner?
You can't.
And so why do you believe you're a sinner then?
I think I probably believe that because of the the thoughts that we're talking about.
Oh, I
It's kind
see.
of like a constant battle that you're having to believe that.
And you've been told that all your life.
Right.
Do you believe all your sins have been wiped away?
You know what? No, because I know you like the black and white responses. I'll say no, just because it's hard to believe that.
And so when Christ said, "It is done," all your sins have been wiped away, you didn't believe him?
That's did I believe him? You know, that's a deep question. I'd say I'd like to say yes, but I feel like maybe from what you're telling me, I probably don't believe that. I'd like to.
And why
it's
don't
a hard
you?
thing to swallow. It's just very hard to swallow. It's hard to swallow that you're saved, that you're sinless. You know, just very. It's difficult. I couldn't even tell you why I think that. I think it goes, but it's a deep question. It makes you think about what exactly I am thinking about, or like why I think that way. I don't know.
What a mess, huh?
It's pretty messed up. Yeah.
Just imagine that all of your life you've been told you were a sinner, while on the other hand, God sent his son to buy you, because you were born in sin. He sent his son, and brought you back from sin and wiped it all away. And yet all of your life you've been suffering in your imagination and false sense of feelings and thinking that you were a sinner. Just think about a life that's been wasted.
Yeah, that is pretty intense. But that doesn't mean like I could just do whatever I want, right? Right?
I don't understand that question.
Well, like, you know, like if I think Paul said like the things I want to do, I don't do, and the things I don't want to do, I do. So
Right.
like this internal struggle. So I mean, like, if I am, you know, I'm sinning and I know that I'm conflicted about certain things that I'm doing that I don't want to do, should I still worry about those things, or should I just do them anyway?
But if you can see that all your sins have been wiped away and that you're not a sinner nor a saint, why would you still believe that you are? And if you believe that they've all been wiped away, why would you believe that they have not been wiped away? And then if you believe that they have been wiped away, how could you be doing those things if they've been wiped away? They wouldn't be there to do. There would be no thinking of those things.
Yeah, that is interesting. I wish I could talk to you for a long period of time, but I know you got other people. It is interesting. I definitely will have to think about it more.
When you do, call me.
Yeah, I'll give you a call again. Hopefully, maybe not a year later.
All right. All right, buddy.
All right, Jesse.
Okay. Super chat.
Super chat.
888-77 Jesse. Super chat.
Not a victim bought another coffee saying, when you put life in a cage, it resents you. Why is it that life has to be free? Is it because of God? What is life?
When you put life in a cage. When you put life in a cage, what?
It resents you.
It resents you. And what else?
Why is it that life has to be free? Is it because of God? And what is life?
I answered that question before about energy.
Right.
Life is energy. I don't understand the other parts of the question now.
Why is it that life has to be free? Like not in a cage, I guess.
Are they saying they would rather be in a cage?
No, he doesn't want to be in a cage.
But
He
what
said-
does it mean by why is it that life has to be free?
Is it because of God?
I don't understand that question.
I don't either. Sorry, not a victim. We
Not
did
a-
our best.
Not a victim, call me. And maybe I can do some follow-up questions so I can try to understand. You may be asking a really good question, it's just I don't understand it. I'm not saying that the question is bad. I'm just saying I don't understand the question. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Life not a victim. Call me. Thank
Nice.
you.
Mike Young bought a coffee. Hey, Jesse. Not saying Robert De Niro is not talking to Mayor Adams about the crime in New York City, but if he claims to love New York City so much, why doesn't he use his energy to go after Mayor Adams for being soft on crime as much as he is hating on Trump? Also, what do you think of James Hake? Emoji.
You would have to ask him about that. Niro about that. I don't know why. I don't even know if he communicated with me or not. I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, he is phony, though. He thinks that Trump is going to destroy New York and America and the world.
I don't think he really believes that. I just think he's saying that to put fear into people.
Yeah.
He even said, yeah, I'm glad I am putting fear in you.
Yeah, at first
Something
he
like
said,
that.
I don't want to scare you. Actually, I do want to scare you.
Right. So I think that's his aim because he doesn't want the great white hope to be back in there.
Yep. Dan the Man Can bought 5 coffees. Hey, Jesse, when I do the silent prayer, I can tell there's an evil spirit within me. I have been doing the silent prayer 3 years now, and that spirit hasn't left yet. Is there anything more I need to do, or should I expect the silent prayer eventually to get rid of it?
Oh, do nothing but watch it. Just watch it, and don't argue with it. Don't fight with it. Don't give it a name. Just watch it. And don't worry about how long it's going to take, how painful it is, or anything. Just watch it and just endure, and you'll be fine. Thank you.
Someone bought our coffee. Sir, for you to say color doesn't matter, and we are not what we see or think. However, you keep asking people whether there's black or white, whether they're black or white. Why in the heck does colors matter? Also, are the blacks the blame for all the bad in the world?
Repeat that.
You say color doesn't matter, but how come you keep on asking people if they're black or white? Why does color matter? Also, are blacks to blame for all the bad in the world?
How would I communicate with them if I asked? I have to communicate.
It's just interesting to know that stuff.
Right. Absolutely. Thank you.
Cushman 420. And no, they're not to blame for all the bad.
No. They're just to blame for their bad.
Yeah.
Everybody else, each individual is to be blamed for their own badness.
Cushman 420 bought a diamond. You say you aren't a Christian. What do you mean by that?
I said, well, what?
You're not a Christian. What do you mean by that?
I don't identify with that. I use that to communicate that I am a part of the Christian world, right? But I don't identify with it.
Nice. Apple 2691 bought a very generous Rumble rant. I want to answer last week's biblical question. Are you a self-worshiper?
Are you a self-worshiper?
No. I'm a woman, and I'm evil, and I don't worship evil or demons.
Nice. Podcast to show you hear us discussing that.
Nice.
Thank you.
Very generous.
Thank you.
Sharmy Peterson bought a coffee. Uncle Jesse, I bought your books and regret nothing. About to take some time and read my new books. Thanks for signing them for me. Smiley. Just the word I needed.
Right on. Amazing. Check out the books. They are amazing. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/store, and I will sign them for you as well. Or call 800-411-BOND to order them.
And shout out to the top contributors on D-Live, Evgeny Crosby, Cushman420, I disavow his name, Aries1, and the rest of the supporters on the D-Live crew. And thank you, guys. I do believe that's all for now.
Thank you. Amazing.
Sweet.
How about a time
Nick LaBoy bought a Rumble rant. We'll have to read it tomorrow, Nick LaBoy. He bought a couple of them.
Oh, okay. I am totally out of time for now. Tomorrow, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, Bible Thumper Thursday. Bible Thumper Thursday tomorrow. Amazing. Hake is coming up now. Then Joel Friday after Hake. And then the American Anchor Baby. Get on that straight and narrow and stay there. Your mind will be made clear. Your mind will be made clear. But your heart got to change. Salvation's of the heart. When you speak from the heart. If you're evil, it's from the heart. If you're of a good, it's from the heart. Salvation's of the heart. All right, folks, I am so out of time. I'm about to go and relax my voice. Have a good day. Hake coming up now. Take care. Amazing! So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer.
I know some people have called in and they wonder if the silent prayer is working. And I just want to take a second and to tell them that it works. You just have to stick with it.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I started doing before I even forgave my parents. And I was so depressed and suicidal at some times that I just would have to stop in the middle of my job or whatever I was doing and go into the silent prayer. And it really does help. Like, I don't have those anymore.
Amazing. You haven't seen anything yet. Doubt every thought. Bring every thought into captivity. Just let them all pass. Don't judge them. You haven't seen anything. It gets better and better and better and easier, easier, easier. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. Other than sex, I wonder, why would a man even need a woman today? Women don't know how to cook. They don't know how to clean. They're in competition with men. They don't want to be wives and mothers. Some want to get married, but they don't want to live in that proper position of life, because the only purpose of marriage is to have a family, and that's been known forever. And so if you don't want to have children, there is no need to get married. And so I was wondering, why would a man even get married today? I never thought I'd see the day when women would come out of her natural role and be like a man. Even though she hate that role, when she was with a man that's weak, she hate him. But if he try to be strong, she'll stop it. I never imagined that. You're seeing good destroyed and abnormal is presented as normal.